What is going on, guys? Has it been a while? I don't know, I'm losing track of time. Got a box here. This is something I wanted for a while. The original owner is a good friend of mine, and he put it up for sale, and somebody else picked it up. Another collector I deal with a lot, good guy, and he just so happened to kind of hold it, and he said when I was ready he'd let me have it. Can't get any nicer than that. So here we have, let's just open it right up. Very well packaged. Oh man, I packaged so many stuff, so many boxes up. Oof. Let's see, I don't know how to crack this bitch up. Had to get up in that mother. This thing, package. I'm probably gonna have to trash this box, because I'm not going through all of that. Woo! But get yourself one of these knives. They're, what is it, the Kershaw knives? Heavy duty, real good knife. That's what I use. Oh my shit. Cut right through that like butter. Like butter, baby. Like butter. Get that fucking tape sticky bullshit off it. So this is cool. Always saving our stuff. Wow, I did not expect this thing to be this heavy. Pretty fucking cool here. We have, it's gonna be a gruesome one. Nasty. Oh man, it's stiff as a fucking board too. We have Rash Rita, Harry Inman. Very cool piece. Very, very cool. The hair, this is my a piece by him that I have now with the most hair on it, that's for sure. The hair is just tons of hair on this thing, all punched. All of this hair is punched in every part of it, which is fucking nuts. Because if you see how much hair is here, that's all punched, and it probably took him for fucking ever to do that. But and it just stays, like after all them years, it just stays so nice, you know. Crazy. What is this one? Dark Studios, which he called himself. It was Dark Studios, and there was another name he called himself, which was even before all that. Like, it looks like somebody just ground her face off. I have her husband, I forget what they call him. I call him Shotgun Bill or Shot Blast Bill or some shit like that. That's what I call him. And actually, the guy who originally had these had the two matching paint jobs. I have her husband, but the paint job's just a little different. He has a buckshot to the face and blown out the back of his head. This is super cool because I'm going to display her right next to him, and I've been kind of waiting for this for a while, just to kind of have both pieces together. The eye is great, all painted up by Harry. Thing is fucking thick, hard as a rock. The blood looks real. Everything looks real. Doesn't look cheesy at all. A lot of Harry's pieces. The guy was just so super talented, and lots of people miss that guy. I started collecting a bit late, so you know I didn't know of him or anything, or know the guy personally. I got a chance to talk to him or anything like that. So, but that happens, and it just looks so real throughout. Like her hair, you see all that blood, and it just, look at that side. If you look at that side, just completely decomposed on that side, and this side is fucking, you know, it's like she's been dead for a while, and this side just rotted away first, or if somebody ground her face off, you know, just really gruesome shit. And then you look at it from this way, this profile, very cool. And then you got that side, just fucking, he was just a master of his craft. It's so cool. He did so many gory pieces, you know, just fucked up shit. A lot of artists just don't do that. They won't really do a lot of the gory stuff. And Nightmare Force Josh has got a few gory, pieces and shit. And you know, a lot of the artists I've seen are like into like fantasy and shit like that. So, you know, it's cool when you see something really gruesome and fucked up like this. Very neat. Just the history, the age behind this thing. It's so old. Oh man, Harry always added more. Like he always added like a bib or something to the mask, which is so cool. You know, it wasn't just like the neck and you know, and these things are just gonna outlive, I would say, pretty much most anything. I mean, this thing is so fucking thick. It just sits up on its own. I mean, this is fucking latex. Look at this rubber. I mean, this thing just bounces right back into its shape. You could set this down and you wouldn't need a stand or anything for his masks. Like half of, you know, the majority. I have like one or two that you need to like put, you know, that need help. One probably needs to be foam filled. One needs a little attention, needs to be fixed, but it was such a cool sculpt. I had to fucking have it. And all the opening stuff is in the back, so it just needs to be seam shut with whoever is gonna fix it. Maybe later on I can get somebody to fix that. But the sculpt itself is bad as shit. I love it. Harry was such a good artist, man. It's a shame. You know, I learned a lot about him through a lot of, you know, through a couple people. David Lady, Josh, you know, just a lot of people in the game. I learned a lot of stuff from, so them sharing their knowledge with me, and in the videos I try to share as much as I can remember from what they've told me and stuff like that. He was out of California though, and his working conditions were pretty fucking shitty, and died way too young. You know, a lot of these guys, Joe Riley, Jack Nisi, he died in an accident though. But Sam McCain was at a motorcycle accident with him. So a lot of guys way too young, you know, just got lost way too young. But there it is. Road Rash Rita. Very gruesome piece. Very cool. I love his style. Love Harry Inman's style. It's like no other, you know, it really isn't. You can definitely, this shit definitely stands alone. Very vintagey looking, and he had like his own style. It's hard to explain unless you see a lot of his pieces. But yeah, I was blown away. I thought like just some of this was going to be punched and then the other was going to be laid on. That's what a lot of artists do. This entire hair, all of it is punched in, which is fucking pretty impressive, to say the least. That's a lot of hair. And I love the hair that he used. Like, look at that quality hair back in the day, man. This shit is so expensive. I've heard from artists that hair has gone up so much in price. Like, look at how quality that hair is through the years. Just, it's got like the little zigzags, like the waves in it and shit. Beautiful, beautiful hair on such a beautiful face. It's like, yeah, but anyway, I'm sweating my balls off here. Very busy weekend. My wife's at her dad's in Maine, so I'm trying to sneak shit in when I can here. This came in, I think, Thursday night. Thursday night it came in, and I just put it off till you know, today. Just trying to sneak it in. Very cool. Glad that I finally have this in the collection. Definitely gonna hold on to this chick for a bit, just because I just love. I'm gonna, you know, putting her next to her husband, who's deceased as well, murder victims or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it could be many different reasons or scenarios going on here. That's why I love his pieces. They make you think. He did, you know, some movie stuff too, movie replica stuff too, and then a lot of original stuff. I have a lot of his original stuff. A lot of his like zombie stuff. There's one that I'm looking for, but we'll see. Things seem to pop up here and there, you know, and that's what makes collecting fun. Just being patient, keeping an eye out, you know, letting certain collectors and people that you get close with in the hobby know what you're looking for, and then one day you might get that message like, hey, you know, you want this, and like, fuck yeah. So collecting is cool. You just have to like be patient, you know. I've learned that throughout the years. You know, you just have to kind of chill and just be patient, and then, you know, you'll get what, you know, hopefully you'll find what you're looking for or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've made obligations and stuff to people, and the reasons why I've done that is because I've had other obligations that I have to meet. So, you know, that's why I do that sometimes. I'll hit up a collector and be like, or an artist and be like, hey, you know, do you mind, you know, holding one of those for me, and I'll pay you on so and so time, you know. And if they're cool with it, cool. If not, you know, you can say no, or you can say whatever, or that's not going to work. Fine, whatever. but it's because I've made obligations with other people, so I have to honor that and then move forward to get to that person. So sometimes that happens as well. But this is badass. I'm glad this is in the collection finally. Very, very badass piece. Harry, just his stuff's out there, but I mean, collectors that get it just don't really want to let him go. It's really hard, and I found a good dude that actually has really boosted my Inman collection. Scott has really helped me out, and I really appreciate that, because, you know, I have a lot of Inman stuff from him, and you know, those things just aren't floating around like that. You know, you can get them here and there. They might pop up on eBay. You might be able to get them from another collector or whatever, but a lot of these people just, these collectors don't want to part with these Inman pieces for just good reason. Just, you know, his castings were so special, super thick, and then he like almost, see how he kind of, it's not just like a regular pull, like he went back in there with stuff to make it this strong and sturdy, whatever material he used. It's not just latex. So it's almost like a fucking, it's almost like getting a cast, like casting. But yeah, it's almost like getting a cast. Like it's that fucking strong. Like her face, like I can't even push this in. Like it's that strong. So the man wanted his shit to live on way past him, and I guarantee you his pieces will, if you know, in the right collector's hands, like I could probably put this thing in the attic and it would still be fine 10 years from now. I mean, it is just that fucking thick. Crazy. I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, it's just incredible works, amount of hard work that went into this, and he wanted his stuff to live on, you know, which is so badass. That's how passionate he was, and you know, a lot of people miss him. But it looks like her face was just ground off on the side of the road, or like a sander or something. It's really fucking gruesome. This is a pretty fucked up piece. I have a few like this from Inman, that Inman did, and this is right up there with probably some of the most fucked up shit that I have. I mean, that's pretty fucked up. I mean, a lot of people do zombie masks, and it's like, oh, zombie mask. This is pretty fucking, this is pretty raunchy. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, pretty sick. But I'm into that type of shit. So, like I said, I'm into the dark stuff. A lot of OG, like serpents, monsters, creatures, weird shit like that. You know, not necessarily tied to anything. Just somebody got some clay, boom, banged it out, and it just turned into this thing that looks like, you know, it grew there, or like just fucking something amazing, you know. So Nightmare Force is really good with that, Josh. I can't really emphasize that his company enough. Great dude over there in Florida doing it himself. Really good guy. You guys need, if you're unfamiliar with Nightmare Force, check it out, Google it. There's something on there for everybody. Good stuff, good quality stuff. Display or wearable, whatever, you know, yeah, Josh is just such a good, talented dude. He's doing it, and he's been around the scene a long time. Not like these dudes that just popped up and just started making masks out of the blue. Like, oh, I'm a mask maker now. Like, this dude's really been in the scene a long time. He's learned from his mistakes. You know, fucking been around a lot of people in the business. Knows his shit. John Fuller, another incredible artist. You know, guys need to get over there and check him out. I mean, the list goes on and on, man. I mean, it really does. Some of these indie guys are just slept on, and it sucks. David Smith is an old school cat, and he's brought back a lot of cool shit. I think he is taking a break from what I read on IG. He's going away for a little bit, doing stuff on his other job, but he'll be back. And that's why I kind of gathered these masks from him now, just because, you know, fucking getting them while they're there. You never know what's going to happen when somebody's in their life. Believe that. Anything can change. Things can be taken away quickly in your life, and so I was jumping on those pieces quick. Like he brought a lot of stuff back, and I'm very fortunate to own a lot of his pieces. And another slept on artist, I don't know, the guy is awesome. You know, Death Studios, a lot of cool stuff. Rest in peace, John Smith. That was very unfortunate and tragic, but at least he got to do what he loved one more time. You know, before he parted, you know, before he left us. So that was awesome, you know, very cool. That he got to do what he loved one more time, and there's a lot of pieces for collectors to you know, honor him and remember him by. That'll be coming out here soon. Death Studio stuff. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know, I'm just kind of talking shit right now, a lot of stuff, I'm just talking a lot. Sorry about that, but kind of got off subject. But yeah, Harry Inman lost, gone way too soon. But we have these pieces like this, us collectors, to remember him by, which is very cool. So he'll live on, you know, through these pieces and stuff like that. So it's very neat. He was definitely a one of a kind. Heard a lot of cool stories about the guy. So thank you, Scott. Thank you, Josh, for selling it to Scott. And or selling it on eBay, and Scott picked it up, my bad. And then you know, just keep it going, I guess, guys. You know, hope you guys are having a great weekend. It's hot as fuck here in Maryland. We lost our AC in our house, I believe it was Wednesday, and it was one of the hottest days of the year. It was like 90 something. We had to go out and buy a window air conditioning unit. It was fucking hot. It was a small one because all the other ones were gone. We all cooped up in the back in one room. It was fucking brutal. Anybody that doesn't have an AC in this heat, I don't know how you're doing it. I thought I was gonna die. And he came out and was like the motor that runs the fan on the outside unit. So he fixed that and got us up. Man, it took like almost 3 hours for this house to cool down to where it needed to be. It was that hot, and I have fish tanks throughout my house, and like some of them were so hot the water was past the thermometer gauge. I mean, just exceeded it. It was pretty fucked up. So I'm glad I didn't lose anything. I have axolotls, and as many of you know, if you know anything about them, they got to stay cold. So their tank reached about 80, which is fucking really bad for axolotl tank. I keep it around 66, 65. So yeah. They're okay now, though. They seem to be, so that's cool. Anyway, Rash Rita, she's gonna join her husband. I call him Buckshot Bill. It might be a different name. If so, if I'm butchering that, I'm sorry, guys. It's a lot of names to remember, a lot of things going on. One day I actually went through every mask and was just naming it in my head, and it was like some of them I was like, fuck, what is that? What is that? Because there's just so many names. There's so much shit going on. It's nuts. And then I was starting to remember who sculpted that, who did that. You know, so every once in a while I'll put myself through that test, you know, go through the room. Oh yeah, just to keep it in the head and keep it fresh. But yeah, I mean, the collection's fucking awesome. I love where it's going, but I have sold a few pieces here and there. I'm trying to get back into playing music again. So I sold some things. I got a Gibson Standard. I'm really loving that guitar. It's not super heavy. It's a nice guitar. Probably gonna go pick a rig up this weekend. We'll see. Like I said, I'm just really, I need it. I need to get back into that and just and like not just have my full attention on masks, because it gets obsessive. And there's just more to life than just sitting here collecting masks all day. I'm not talking shit at all. I love my collection. I'm not getting rid of collecting. I'm not stopped collecting. I love doing the videos for you guys, but there's just more to do. You know, that's why I'm into the aquatics as well. I need to break it up a little bit. I can't just sit here and collect masks all day. You know, I did that for a while, and you just get burnt. It gets weird. It gets obsessive. It's crazy shit. So I'm putting that down, you know, not putting it down, but I'm mixing things around. You know, I'm going to buy some pedals for my guitar, fuck around with some sounds and shit like that. And, you know, have a good time. You know, this life is short. Life is short. You know, you got to have fun while you're here. You can't just be laying in bed looking for masks all day and talking to people about masks all day. Nah. I'm good. But anyway, Rash Rita, you guys have a good weekend, and we'll be back at you. Let me think when we're going to be back at you. I just paid for something that I told a dude I'd pay him for, so we had to get that done. That's out of the way. That piece is really big. Steve Wang, I'm just going to throw that out there, that name. You know him, you don't, you do. If you don't, you don't. Google him up. I'm sure it'll all start coming to you real quick when you start reading about him. Be like, holy shit. Yeah, Steve Wang. So it's a Steve Wang sculpted piece. That should be coming out in the mail early next week, hopefully. If not, whatever. It's coming from a good friend of mine, so I'm not real stressed about it. He's always good for what he says. And that should be here end of the week. I still have the David Smith Troll going on, a Jordu piece, which is fucking amazing. I cannot wait to get that thing in hand. Super fucking gnarly, really realistic, fucking just scary, freaky shit. And I had to have it. I have his werewolf, and the other one's similar, but we'll see. I'll wait to show you guys. It's not on his page. It was on his IG, but we'll get there. Trying to think what else. That might be it. And then I have another collector who's just putting stuff aside for me when I'm ready. And then I got to do something with another collector or another artist. He's doing a limited run, and I got to pick something up off him as well. Make that happen. Very talented guy. John Fuller. I got to make that happen. So, you know, got to honor your word here. You have to. You don't want to be that guy, so it sucks. This is like so much shit comes up in this hobby, and that's what I'm trying to talk about. Chill out, honor your word, do the right thing, and then fucking, you know, mix it up, you know, whatever. But if you're constantly focused on mass and you promise somebody a month down the road and then something else comes up and you can get it right then, it just starts fucking with you, man, and it just sucks, you know, when you don't have disposable income like that and you're working check to check or whatever the fucking deal is. Like, I mean, I own my home, you know, I got a brand new truck, I got a lot of shit going on here, man. I got kids. It's hard. I can't just constantly be fucking like a fucking slave to masks and shit. But I'm just talking in circles here. Look, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. We'll be back at you when we're back at you. If you're on my YouTube channel, I actually save some of these videos. I'll put this video up tonight, and then I'll wait a week, and then I'll keep every week. I keep a video fresh, an older one fresh, to put into the YouTube one to keep that thing going, you know. So that's what I've been doing with that. I still have another video from like last week or something I got to put on there next week, and then this one will be another week. So it's 2 weeks behind so far with this stuff on YouTube. But you guys, if you could follow me on my mask unveiling on Facebook, unboxing videos, then you know you get everything as I get it to come in, as it comes in, or as I do it, I put it right up there. So, you know. Anyway, let me hop off here. You guys have a great weekend. Talk at you soon.